I went down there and ended up in one of them coffee houses on the block. Had to get on the stage to sing and play. The man that said come back some other day. You sound like a hillbilly. We want folk singers here. Hi, welcome to Visions of Dylan, the stories behind the songs. My name is Darren Fisher, I'm a songwriter, and in this series I'm going to be exploring the wonderful songwriting, the early songwriting of Bob Dylan. In this episode we're going to be having a look at a song called Talkin New York Blues, which, along with Song to Woody, was one of two original songs that made it onto his debut album, the self-titled Bob Dylan. So Talkin New York Blues, well, it's a song which talks about the disillusionment, if you will, that Dylan felt upon arriving in New York. So he made a mythical journey from Minnesota to New York in the winter of 1961 as a young 19-year-old. He wanted to go to Greenwich Village to see the folk clubs and to play at the folk clubs there, and also to visit his hero Woody Guthrie, who was in hospital in nearby New Jersey. So Dylan arrives in New York. He doesn't know anybody, and he goes to various coffee shops and he's trying to make a name for himself, and I think he struggles at the very beginning, as anybody would. He's befriending a few people and sleeping on people's couches, etc. But he's not really making any grounds in terms of breaking through. So he writes a song about the disillusionment he has because he's not breaking through, which is incredible. I couldn't imagine writing a song or writing that song if I had arrived in a city and I was not getting any gigs, and writing a song because I'm angry because people aren't giving me gigs. It's I think only Dylan can do that, and I think that's why Dylan is Dylan. He just creates this massive myth around whatever he does. I think he's just so full of confidence. It's like he knows how great he is and how great he was going to become. So it's a song, that's it has a bit of venom in the song. So it's a forerunner, really, of kind of quite a few venomous songs that Dylan would write in the future. If you got on the wrong side of Dylan, you might find yourself being written about in one of his songs, just as the song promoters are in this song. And there's a bit of humour to the song as well. So he's quite a cheeky little lad. I think just very full of confidence. The song, for me, it sounds very, very confident. So it's a talking blues song kind of format, which we will talk about in another video. So we'll go a little bit deeper into the format of the talking blues in another video. But it's basically a chord progression with some spoken words over the top of it. And Dylan would go on to master this format. It's something he learned from Woody Guthrie, but he would learn to master this format. So although the song is about disillusionment, about breaking through in New York City, no one in all of Greenwich Village, or all of the city really, encountered such a meteoric rise to fame as Dylan did. So his first few months were a bit difficult, but before long, he would be attracting the attention of very influential people, and he would be signing a major record label deal with Columbia Records. So that was probably on the back of a chance meeting with a producer called John Hammond, who was producing a lady called Caroline Hester, who Dylan was playing harmonica for on her album. So John saw Dylan recording this, and somehow he saw what Dylan was going to become in a very, very few seconds of Dylan being there. It's incredible. So John Hammond has got a very good record at discovering incredible artists. That he has got to be, that's got to be said. He's got his list of artists that he's broke is amazing. So I guess the guy knows talent when he sees it, and he saw it immediately in Dylan. And even though Dylan had about 2 or 3 original songs written at this time, and so Hammond was able to talk to the head of A&R at Columbia and say, I've got this kid. I don't know if he's going to sell any records, but he's got something really profound to say, which I think is a really profound thing to say in itself, because there was no indication at this stage how profound Dylan's songwriting was going to be. And so Hammond just knew it. And Dylan also at this stage had a really good review from a newspaper critic. And that kind of went. So I think the stars aligned for Dylan. All the timing was right. He was in the right place at the right time. He met the right people, and he was the right person for the right job. So it was, Dylan. He was, I think, destined for what he became. He knew it, and he knew it as soon as he arrived in New York. So they got him into the recording studio, and he's recording, and it wasn't really that much of a gamble for Columbia, because I think he only spent about $400 on the whole recording of the album. So it was quite a cheap album to record. Basically, it was just Dylan in the studio with a couple of mics running his guitar and a vocal mic, and he's just doing live takes. And that's something which he would go and continue to do throughout his career. He's would go in and do 2 or 3 takes. And I think the magic had to be in those early takes, otherwise he's not interested. There's an interesting pan, an interesting kind of stereo kind of sound in the recording. So the guitars and the vocals are panned at very different sides from each other, quite a hard pan. So in one ear you'll hear the guitar, and in the other ear you'll hear the vocals. Which, if you're deaf in one ear like me, makes it a little bit tricky to appreciate that kind of mix. Modern mixes don't have such a hard pan. They'll have things more centered around the middle of the ear, so you can hear both in both ears. This is a Talkin New York Blues, and it's the tale of a young man arriving into a city. He's full of confidence, and he knows where he's going. He's just waiting for the city to catch up. Rambling out of the Wild West, I'm leaving the towns I love the best. I thought I'd seen some ups and downs till I come into New York town. People going down to the ground, buildings going up to the sky. Winter time in New York town, the wind blowing the snow around. I walk around, nowhere to go, somebody could freeze right to the bone. I froze right to the bone. New York Times said it was coldest winter for 17 years. I didn't feel so cold then. I swung onto my old guitar, I grabbed hold of a subway car. After a rocking, reeling, rolling ride, I landed up on the downtown side, Greenwich Village. I got a harmonica jar, began to play, blowing my lungs out for $1 a day. I blew it inside out and upside down. The man that said he loved my sound, he was raving about it, loved my sound. $1 a day's worth. After weeks and weeks of hanging around, I finally got a job in New York town. In a bigger place, a bigger money too. Even joined the union and paid my dues. Now, a very great man once said, some people rob you with a fountain pen. It don't take too long to find out just what he was talking about. A lot of people don't have much food on their tables. They got a lot of forks and knives, and they gotta cut something. So one morning morning when the sun was warm, I rambled out of New York town. I pulled my cap down over my eyes and I headed out for western skies. So long, New York. Howdy, East Orange. Thank you very much for listening and coming to the page. I'd love it if you would subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, I'm going to be checking out lots more of these videos in the future. So I'm very excited by going into this project. Yeah, catch you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.